How much does it cost to create an indie game? Well, that differs from game to game. But I can show you a pretty accurate breakdown of my indie game Cloud Escape. Cloud Escape is a challenging 3D precision platformer. Similar to games like Getting Over It or Alt F4, there is only one map at release. However, there are 2 game modes to provide a little more variety and an additional challenge. The map is divided into 5 large themed areas with various obstacles and traps. For beginners and inexperienced players, an entire playthrough will probably take many hours. Experienced players and speedrunners can reach the goal in 5 to 10 minutes after a certain amount of practice time. Over the years, I've gotten into the habit of tracking and categorizing my work as accurately as possible. This allows me to reflect and better plan for future tasks. In addition, the costs or theoretical costs can be determined in this way. I say theoretical costs because I'm not a full-time game dev and therefore not dependent on it. For me, it's also more like free time and not working time. Let's start with the working hours. Starting with the planning and concept phase and ending with the release of the first build on Steam. I worked on the project for a total of 17 weeks. The average working time per week was 21.5 hours. This results in a total number of 365.5 hours. How are the working hours divided up? When tracking, I put my work time into the following categories: development, video editing, social media and marketing, publishing, and image editing. By far the largest part, 228.5 hours, was the development of the game itself. This includes conception, planning, level design, coding, and quality assurance. I wish I had tracked QA separately. Unfortunately, I forgot to do that. If I had to guess, I would say that 1/3 of the development time consisted of in-editor testing. The second largest part was video editing, with 72 hours. Besides video editing, I had to record game and screen footage and my voice, of course. I really wanted to document the process in devlogs. On the one hand for myself, but of course also to generate a certain amount of coverage. I also produced 1 tech video and 2 game trailers. By launch day, I had produced a total of 8 videos. So the average editing time of a video is 9 hours. Obviously the devlogs have much more runtime than, for example, the trailers. For social media and marketing, I have tracked 32 hours. This block consists of responding to YouTube comments, posting tweets, Instagram and TikTok posts, whereas the emphasis was clearly on the first 2. The publishing process took me 18.5 hours. This includes the integration of the Steamworks API, the configuration of the game to communicate with Steam, the creation of a game build for Steam, the creation and multiple editings of the Steam store page, the configuration of SteamPipe, in other words, the process of making the build available on Steam through the end user, and the actual upload of the build to Steam using the Steamworks SDK's content builder. The final and smallest block with 14.5 hours was image editing. This includes promo images for social media such as Twitter and Instagram, graphics for the game itself, graphics for the devlogs, graphics for marketing, and graphics for the Steam store page. Now we still need to determine the theoretical cost of the time worked. I've been working full-time in software development for over 10 years. In game development, however, I would compare myself to a junior developer at most. According to Glassdoor, junior game devs earn an average of $24 per hour in my area. 365.5 hours would correspond to a total of $8,772. I know you can't really compare the gross salary of an employee to a self-employed solo indie developer, but we need a metric for the work done. Before I continue, I'd like to give a quick shout out to my monthly giveaway. I'm giving away 5 Cloud Escape Steam keys every month. You can find all info on anbar.dev/giveaway. Let's talk about the cost of tools, software and licenses. Unity is my game engine of choice. I use Unity Personal because I have not generated any revenue yet, and therefore fall under $100,000 in annual revenue. Unity Personal is free of charge. For the music in my videos, I have a royalty-free music license, which costs me $20 a month. So far, I've used the subscription in 4 months, so I'm calculating $80 here. I originally purchased the track for the trailer separately from the subscription, but I ended up not using it. $33 one-time payment. I use Photoshop for pretty much everything in image editing. The license costs me $96 annually. For editing my devlogs and other videos, I use DaVinci Resolve, which is basically free. I wanted some features of the studio version and paid $293 once. And last but not least, you have to pay a fee to put your game on Steam and sell it. That cost me $97 one time. This brings us to a total cost of $597 for this block. Let's talk about Unity assets. Without the use of Unity assets, I would be far from finished with the project, with the same feature set and scope, and would most likely not be able to offer the same quality because I lack the knowledge and experience. I've bought over 90% of my assets in sales or bundles, like Humble Bundle, and saved a lot of money. However, if I wanted to do this project today, I could not take these discounts into account. My project uses a total of 27 different assets. I've created 2 diagrams about the use of game assets. In the first diagram, you can see the breakdown by asset type. The largest asset type is debug and utility, with 8 assets. The total cost of these assets is $102.30. This type contains assets like debug drawing, localization or spline components. Next comes the models and props asset type, with 6 different asset packs and a total price of $216.62. This type should be self-explanatory. The total of 5 sound effects and audio packs was $160.09. The asset type visuals primarily include shaders such as the Toon shader I used. Visuals come to a total cost of $192.62. The animations section includes 3 different assets and come to a cost of $202.25. For my user interface, I bought a ready-made UI pack, which costs $48.15. In the second diagram you can see a comparison of free and paid assets. As you can see, I used a total of 4 free assets and 23 paid assets. The cheapest assets were the following: low poly characters and polygon prototype, with a cost of $6 each. The most expensive asset was the following: Animenser Pro, $108.33. As a result, we arrive at a total cost of $922.03 if you buy these assets outside of sales and bundles. It should be noted that they are regular 50% sales, and on events like Black Friday it is not uncommon to find 70 to 90% discounts. Let's get to the total project cost, but where do you draw the line? I could also include things like hardware cost, electricity cost, rent and other additional expenses. But it's not my main job. I would own a powerful PC even without gamedev. I do the work in my apartment, for which I pay rent anyway. And yeah, maybe my power consumption has increased a bit due to gamedev, but that's not what the video is about. If you actually start your own business as a solo indie dev, you should of course plan for all these things. In this video I'll just assume that hardware and physical space are available, and limit myself to the actual creation of the game. Let's move on to the total cost. If we add up the cost of the 3 blocks, we come to a total cost of $10,291.03. If I leave out the working time, we are at a total cost of $1,519.03. Let's talk about the price tag of my game and how many units I have to sell to break even. I have listed my game Cloud Escape on Steam for $4.99. For each sale, 30% commission is paid directly to Steam. This leaves $3.49 to be paid to me. If we assume that I have no expenses and my sales correspond to my profit, I still have to pay tax on the profit, of course. How high my tax rate is depends on my taxable income. I am from Germany, and according to Glassdoor, a junior software developer in the region where I live earns an average of $55,000 per year. This results in an income tax of about 18%. So if I subtracted the 18% tax from the profit, I would have to sell 3,599 units of the game to break even. Or if I don't consider working time, I would have to sell 532 units to make a profit. That's it for today's video. I hope it helped to give you an idea of what expenses to expect when developing a game. Like I said, a lot of it is theoretical and may not be completely accurate, so take that with a grain of salt. What are your thoughts? How much did you expect? Did anything surprise you? If you haven't already, feel free to check out my game on Steam and participate in my monthly giveaway. I would really appreciate it. If you like my content, please consider subscribing and liking the video. Thanks guys, and see you soon.